What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Soul Break. Thanks for stopping by my channel. So today we finally have another pair of Yeezys to review on my channel, and these are the Yeezy Boost 380's in the Yekerite colorway. So these released over the weekend on Adidas.com. And at first, I wasn't a big fan of this model, so I thought about passing on these, but I heard that these are exclusive to the Asia Pacific region only, so I thought there might be some people who are curious about this model, so I just decided to cop a pair for retail to review for you guys. So they arrived in the mail today, and let's just dive right into the shoe. Now, like I said, when I first saw these online, I really wasn't a big fan of these, but when I first pulled these out of the box, I was really surprised. It was a really pleasant surprise for me because I think the overall colorway of this model is quite fire. Now, diving right into the shoe, the upper is constructed of this primeknit material that has this kind of like organic pattern that we've seen on the Alien OG pair. And there are these parts using the primeknit in this kind of off-white color, and then it's accented by this kind of grayish alien pattern that we've seen on some other 380 models. And what's interesting about this model is that all of these gray parts of the shoe are actually 3M reflective. So I've left an image for the thumbnail where you can see the reflective effect when you flash your light against this model. And I think it's really cool that we can see this kind of alien-esque pattern on this model, because on my calcite pair we couldn't see that because that shoe is just like basically white all over the shoe. And I think it's really cool that Adidas decided to make these parts reflective and make it widely available for people. It's also got this typical Yeezy stripe using this kind of like orangish or like ember type of color. And then it's also accented by these kind of like holes used for perforation. So the overall colorway of the shoe really gives off this organic vibe or this kind of vintage vibe. And I think it's a really cool touch because 380 models are known to, carry that more of that like organic vibe in general. Moving towards the front area of the shoe, you've got this more of this kind of 3M reflective knit here, and then alongside the middle part of the shoe, you've got that off-whitish kind of like prime knit material here as well. And then you see these very light beige colored rounded laces that we find on any Yeezy 380 model. And I think this shade of beige is ever so very subtle and is really cool, and it kind of adds a more livelihood to the overall shoe for some reason. And then here we see that infinity loop lacing system. At first, I really wasn't a fan of this model because it kind of looked awkward, but as I wear my calcite pair more and more, I find this system very comfortable and convenient because I don't have to tie or untie my shoe every time I try to put it on. But if you're not a huge fan, you could obviously cut these off and then put in the extra set of laces. This model also comes with an extra set of OG laces, so that if you can put those laces in if you prefer that look. And on the ankle area, you see this kind of like sock type of material that stretches out. Obviously, this is also constructed using primeknit, but it kind of functions as a sock, so you can really stretch these out when you try to put your feet in. And on the back side of the shoe, you see more of that alien type of pattern here using that 3M reflective primeknit, as well as this kind of like off-white primeknit here. This model does not come with a heel tab, and I don't imagine to see any like heel tabs on the 380 models because the original design lacked that detail anyway. Basically, the medial side of the shoe is the same deal. The kind of the Yeezy stripe is kind of wider on this side for some reason, but it's really cool, and I think it's very nicely constructed. You can tell that Adidas paid a lot of attention to detail because the QC on this pair is quite immaculate. I'm really impressed by how much attention is paid into constructing these models, and I really appreciate the effort to make make a good sneaker. Um, on the inside of the shoe, you see that kind of like off-whitish or light beige type of colored insole, and then you see the Yeezy and Adidas branding printed in black. There's nothing too special about that. Also on the back heel area, you see that padded cushioning here that we find on Yeezy 380 models, and it really feels comfortable on feet. And the reason being is that once we move towards the midsole of the shoe, we once again see that boost on roids that we've seen on many other 380 models. And this boost is really something, because it's really thick, and you almost get that kind of bouncy feeling, like walking on clouds type of feeling when you put these on. One downside of this such like oversized boost is that when you first put these on, you kind of get that feeling that you're leaning forward, and then you kind of feel tight towards the toe area. But as you wear this pair more and more often, the boost kind of settles in, and then it gets balanced out, so you get less of that feeling of like leaning forward, and then the shoe really starts to break in, and it feels like just perfect on your feet. The midsole is created using this kind of semi-translucent material that's got this kind of like cream type of color, or that like sail type of color. And what's interesting is that you can't really see from the video, but you see that kind of ever so slightly peach or orange type of pattern. And this pattern is something we've seen on other pairs, like especially like the Alien OGs, but we haven't been able to see that pattern on the calcite pair because the entire midsole is basically white. It's just like whitewashed overall, but it's really cool that Adidas decided to bring back that pattern. You'll be able to see this more clearly once you hold this pair in hand, and I think it's a really cool and subtle detail. Now, this is probably my favorite part of the shoe, and it's interesting because this probably was my least favorite part of the shoe when I first saw the mock-ups online. This model has an outsole that is constructed using this kind of like I would say like peach or like really light orange color. And when you hold these in hand, it almost like reminds you of like a cantaloupe color, and it really goes really well with the overall model. I don't know. I think Yeezy or like Adidas did a really good job of picking out like the such subtle shades of colors for this model, because it really goes well all together, and it gives off that kind of like organic or like vintage vibe as a sneaker. And I don't know, obviously you're gonna like trash these when you wear them, and then this is gonna get dirty, but for the time being, man, this orange really pops, and it really adds flavor to the overall shoe here. And when you wear these, obviously some other people are going to be able to like see the orange bottom, and it really makes your shoe pop. I think it's far better than having just like simple gum type of outsoles for this model. So basically the other side of the shoe is the same deal. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't like this model when I first saw these online, but having these in hand, I think it's one of the best colorways for the 380 silhouette. Obviously, the Alien OG pair is probably the best model out of all the bunch, but I really like the calcite pair. But this is really up there. I think this is one of the top three Yeezy 380 colorways to ever release. Now, wearability wise, let's be honest, like the Yeezy 380 is a bulky shoe. It's really oversized. But then again, which Yeezy model isn't? So you're obviously gonna have that kind of like oversized fit when you put these on, kind of that bulky feel. And then these usually Kanye tries to like wear these like oversized outfits when he wears his Yeezys. So if you decide to wear these with some like baggy pants, like baggy joggers, and some like oversized hoodies, I think the overall look should look really clean. I mean, the colorway is quite simple, and it's got that very natural tone to it. So it shouldn't be like it shouldn't really be like a clown shoe or anything like that. You should be able to pull these off quite easily if you're a big fan of Yeezys in general. Now, sizing wise, like I mentioned, when you first put these on, you're gonna get that feeling of leaning forward. So what I do is that I go true to size with all of my shoes, and that's what I did for the calcite pair. And it did feel a little tight towards the toe area, but as I wear it more and more, the shoe kind of balances out, and then it feels a little bit more comfortable. But having said that, it still feels snug on feet. So what I would suggest is that go at least half a size up. And if you have really wide feet, I highly recommend that you go a full size up, because I'm not gonna lie, the prime knit does feel tight on your feet, and it would be okay for like short terms of wear, but for extended periods of time, the shoe really feels snug and really tight. So if you want that extra wiggle room in the toe area, you really want to probably go like a half a size up at least. And yeah, that's basically my sizing tip. And I don't know if it's really meaningful to talk about resale anyways, because these models are exclusive to the Asia Pacific region to begin with. So if you live in the US or like the EU countries, you're probably gonna have to cop these off of like the resale platforms. And I don't know. I've checked the prices, and the resale price doesn't look too crazy right now. So if you are thinking about grabbing your first pair of 380s, I think this is probably, the best model to go for, because obviously the entire upper is reflective and you get a lot for your buck, for your money. And also, what I've noticed is that Adidas actually dropped the retail price on this model. So I think this is like maybe like $30 cheaper than what we saw on other 380 models. So, once again, this is probably the best model for the bang for the buck. So yeah, that's my tip on copying these. So yeah, basically, that's it for today. I really hope you found this video informative and helpful. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow, and I'll keep pushing more content really soon. Thanks for watching.